Hey guys, hope everybody's doing quite well. Uh, this is the video of the last interview I had on EE. I know y'all gonna have a blast, and I hope you enjoy as well. But first of all, I want to appreciate everyone who's been supporting me on this long ride as a commentator, and I hope to make more videos on this or whatever I had any idea to do. So, whatever. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day, good night, or good afternoon. So, bye bye.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, three, two, one, let's jam.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Snacks, and okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Snacks, and welcome to this today's first year of Late Night Snacks. And again, I'm not alone. I'm excited to announce my special guest of today. And good evening, EE. How are you doing?
What up, boy? I'm chilling, fresh off of Genesis and all that big shit. So I'm really just vibing, trying to take this week easy, if even though it's been a busy one. But I'm good, man.
I'm glad, man. Uh, all right. First of all, Genesis was a blast. But before we start talking about Genesis, man, how have you been? Like, what's your plans for this year? Or talk to me about you, E. Like, we've been knowing you like for a long, long time, but I want you to talk to me about yourself. Like, talk to me. Who is E?
Who is EE? Well, I mean, I guess that depends on who you ask. You know what I'm saying? Some people might be like, "Yo, EE, this motherfucker is funny. I like him. He's charismatic. He's charming." Other people might be like, "This guy's an asshole. I don't like him. I don't want him around." You know what I'm saying? Depends on who you ask, Snacks. But the question should not be towards me. It should be towards the populace. You guys decide who he is. Personally, I think I'm pretty chill, pretty awesome. I got a lot of plans for this year in and outside of Smash, in and outside of streaming. But overall, I'm just gonna keep doing the best I can, man. It's all about trying to grind out and make some content. I see you doing that yourself, which is why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull up to this, show my boy Snack some love, and keep it moving.
I appreciate it, man. Last time we saw each other was in Delfino Maza, and I had the pleasure
Yep.
to commentate with you, man. So there's something I wanted to ask you because obviously I was a bit too nervous, but what do you think about Delfino Maza? Did you enjoy it?
Let me tell you something right now,
Yeah.
okay? The first available chance I get to go back to Mexico, I'm on that flight frame one. Okay? I'm on that flight frame one. That community, first of all, that community was so warm and so welcoming. I'm glad I went there too because there was like two people who told me, like, hey man, you shouldn't go to Delfino Maza. It's Mexico, it's not that safe and stuff like that. And I was like, I mean, okay, that's pause for cause a little bit. I'm not gonna cap because it's a foreign country, but I
Yeah.
grew up in the hood. I'm from the block. I'm not worried about all that extra stuff because I know where I should be when I should be there. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But
True.
now it was nothing like some of these people was like just built off of fear. This is a beautiful area, beautiful community, amazing food. The senoritas were muy caliente. You know what I'm saying? Like every and the tournament itself too was a dub, man. Like everything about that event was amazing. And I can't wait to go back to Mexico. I don't care if it's for Delfino Maz, I don't care if it's for Smash Factor, whatever. I'm pulling up.
Hey man, I loved Mazatlan. Like it was my first time going to Mexico per se because I started commentating in
Hmm.
Mexico like 2 years ago. But man, Mazatlan was a blast. And the drinks were good, the food was good. I can't talk about the senoritas anymore. I'm a bit, I'm in a complicated situation right now, but
I
I could
respect that. I respect
I
that.
could say
Good.
back then I could say it was okay. It was okay.
Sure.
I hope she doesn't beat me, but anyways, let first of all, let's talk about your future projects. You're in Luminosity. You're doing your stuff. Like, what do you have plans? You have like self, but do you have anything in store?
Yeah, I would say like the biggest things I have coming. I mean, obviously, being on Luminosity, You know, they're always trying to keep the content wheel churning and turning out consistent stuff. You know, it's not necessarily content that's reinventing the wheel, but it is kind of presented with different people in a slightly different form. Obviously, like me being a part of that, I think helps Coney as well too, and the players that we've amassed. So a lot of content there. I know they got planned. Me personally, I know I want to keep growing my podcast. You know, I feel like Lights Out is kind of becoming the go-to podcast for ultimate content alongside Tweak Talks, but I do want to take it, you know, even further from there. And then too, I want to get to a point where I'm doing. I really want to get to a point where I'm doing any kind of like official Fortnite stuff, bro. I play Fortnite every
Oh,
day. That is my jam. I've only been getting better and better at it. So that those are probably like my main goals for this year.
okay.
And then you know just keep being healthy. That's it.
Hey, but before we continue, no build or build?
Oh, I'm a no builder.
There we
I
go. There we
that's
go.
why it's hard, dude, because everything is based off around like all the big tournaments that FNCSs like they're
Yeah.
all like build, but I need like that no build shit to take over, bro. That's what I'm waiting for.
Now that you're talking about Fortnite, have you ever considered and going apart from like playing,
Yeah.
commentating Fortnite? In that case, I think you could
Well,
do it.
that's what I'm talking about
Okay,
commentating.
okay,
Well, I mean,
okay.
listen, I'm alright at Fortnite, but I ain't winning no tournaments anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay. I
But you can
misunderstood.
set me down on any desk for commentary or hosting or whatever, and we're gonna
Okay.
light that motherfucker up. I'm not even worried about that.
Yo, they need to get you already because you'll do amazing on a Fortnite. Mike, hey, my
Facts.
bad. All right, uh, man, Genesis 10 was a blast. I was seeing it from home. I was talking to a lot of friends of mine. But something I want to go like let's go on a sequence, right? You talked to Samba on last episode of Lights Out. By
Yep.
the way, nice episode, loved it. Uh,
Thank you.
what do you think about that top eight prediction y'all had compared to what happened actually?
So I'll be honest. I thought Zamba was smoking something, bro. And I don't mean that in like a negative way. Like it really kind of it's like that meme. Like I wasn't familiar with your game. You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking Zamba. I had Zamba pegged for like ninth, and if he got in the top eight, like seventh. But he was so much more consistent than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact too that he was such a showman about it as well. Like taking the selfie with him and Sonics after being up two
Oof.
games on him. You know what I mean? Like that interview he gave in the back with Rod, like his energy to me, like some people were calling it cringe, but I was just like, no, you guys just don't have a personality. Like we need stuff like this in the scene. It's very entertaining, and I think and Yama's young enough where he can be a pillar for not just this game, but for the next one too, like for a long time if he chooses to, because he is nothing but pure talent. It was awesome.
True, true. And I mean, it's been a long time since we had like a personality like that to appear in Smash. Maybe we're getting a little bit soft, but at first I was like, damn, all right. But then when I kept seeing the videos, I was like, maybe we need this. Maybe we need like a little personality in Smash because, man, Smash has been in a weird, situation that you could like it, right? But it's not that fun, right? But when you have those opportunities, man, it's amazing. The storylines,
Yeah.
the beef it creates. So, you know, marketing wise, it was amazing. I love what Samba did, and congratulations to Samba winning, which honestly I did not expect. But hey, he got it.
Nobody did except
No,
for him, bro.
yeah.
Only him and his predictions. He got himself winning right.
Mhm.
He had Cosmos getting 65th. He got that right. He had Light getting fifth. He got that right too. So only thing that was interchangeable was like I think Spargo. He thought Spargo would be meeting him in Grands, but nonetheless, boy showed up.
Yeah, he did. He did. Uh, but the other elephant in the room was MK Leo. Like Mr. Genesis himself
Yeah.
slumped down on top 64, top 65th. What do you think about that, man? Like, I think it was like super hard to see, like one of the goats just not even reaching top eight. How did you feel when that happened?
Well, I'll be honest. The guy he lost to Titan is a very good player. Like he's out of NorCal, but like he's not ranked. So like, a lot of people were like, oh, he lost to a random. He didn't lose to a random. That kid won Arcadian too, and I would guarantee he'd probably beat the people who would talk down on him.
Yeah.
So that was one loss. They lost to Gact. Gak loss was a little surprising to me because he started Byleth the first two games, lost, went Joker won, and then lost again with Joker. I thought he had committed to just only Joker and Rob. So the Byleth coming back was a little surprising to me. That's why I was like, that's why I kind of walked away because I was like, oh, he's doing it again. He's reverting back after what he said. So it sucks to see him go out in 25th place. That's not Mr. Genesis, you know what I mean? But what a difference a year makes, man. So much can change, and this meta has shifted not only with some characters but some players as well. And I think Leo, at this point, kind of is just like, you know what? I'm gonna do my best, and whatever happens, happens. I think that's good enough. He's still my GOAT. I'll never ever back down off of that. But he's done so much in this game already. In the previous game, what does Leo have left to prove? The answer is nothing. Do your thing, bro.
Nah,
I'm supporting you.
The numbers talk by itself. Like, he has very good numbers. He has very good stats. So at the end of the day, he is one of the, in the line of being the GOATs. Now it's Spargo, Sonics, and so on and so forth until, Smash Ultimate dies eventually, hopefully when another game comes out, right? But yeah, personally, it's kind of sad to see when, MKL is not as good as before. But then I remember the tweet he made that he's like, hey, I'm good. Like, I'm having fun. I think he's right now in France, if I'm not mistaken. So
he is.
He's just having fun.
Before we even came live, it's funny. I was watching a pre-local he was at. He got third. He lost to Spargo, and he lost to Neo in loser. So he got third at that tournament. But he was using Byleth and Rob. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen for that. We're going to be watching King Kong. We're going to be tapped in, and I think my GOAT's going to do GOAT things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta see. Who else is in King Kong? To be honest, I haven't even checked myself.
I got you. Neo's going because the highest placer who is available from Genesis gets to go there, and he's seated first because of it. Fargo's there as well. Gluto, surprisingly, apparently is not competing in France, taking a break. Hell of a time to take a break, but Rafflo, Siski, so they got some good hitters there for sure.
Okay. So the only in quotations international is gonna be Leo and Spargo. I mean, that's pretty. Oh, and Neo, of course.
And Neo, yeah.
That's pretty good.
And Apollo Kage is there too.
Oh damn, Apollo's there. Damn, my GOAT. I hope he does well because he lost to MVD. I'm like, well, he's still my GOAT, but he all right. He's there.
Happens.
Something I wanted to talk about Lights Out. I think it was like a couple of months ago, or I don't remember that much, but you had an interview with Dr. Allen. And I think that's incredible. How do you got him to talk to you, or did he was just like I'm down to talk?
Well, I'll tell you like this, man. I have a certain level of cachet about me, right? Some people might call it clout. I just call it connections. All right. So usually, if I'm trying to get in contact with somebody, I can usually get in contact with them. I can get a message back, and if it goes somewhere, awesome. If not, it is what it is. That's fine. But Alan was, it had been like over a year removed. He was down to chat about it. We had a mutual friend who connected us, and I just said, hey, I'm running this podcast now. It's, it's doing pretty well, and I'm, all about, getting all sides of the story, or even some of the story that hasn't been told yet. And he was down to come on. So, that's really how that came to be. It wasn't anything like, anything crazy. I just like, yo, you trying to come on? He was like, yeah, sure, we can make some time. And after his vacation, he made some time.
And do you think like with that Lights Out episode, did the narration from Panda ever changed, or you think it's like still the same?
Well, a lot of people still feel how they feel about Panda, and that's that's not to be, that's not a surprise, just given like what went down, what was said, and who was saying what. My personal feelings about everything is like it's just a loss in general for the scene, man. Everything could have coexisted. I feel like they could have found a way to make it work, but it didn't. Shit happens, and you can't change the past. What's done is done in a lot of situations, and this is no different. But me personally, I think we missed out on. I was at Capcom Cup yesterday because I got a chance to go there, and when I tell you that their presentation for that event is something similar to what I kind of imagined they would be doing in Smash, I was like, damn, we really missed out. But it is what it is.
I gotta be honest, when I heard that happen, I was sad. I even got the jacket. I got the Panda Final jacket. I was a huge fan, but
yeah,
I guess this is like a personal opinion I have. You correct me if you want. But I personally think that the Smash community overall was just like a bit scared of what could happen. and they just felt like Panda was like too in. Like, this feels sketchy for a minute. Do you think like that's what that's like the mentality the Smash community had, or it was just like randomness?
Yeah, I think. I mean, like, if there's one thing us the Smash community is gonna do, it's gonna jump the gun and overreact to stuff. Now, granted, there were a lot of things out there that give you cause for pause. I understand that, but I feel like it definitely could. Like, if people had just taken a breath and just waited and giving it some time to breathe, I think there could have been a much better resolution. I don't think an entire esports company needed to go under and all those people lose their jobs. You know what I mean? Like for some of these people who just wanted to stand on their soapbox, like get the hell out of here. Like a lot of good people lost their jobs, and the community itself lost a lot of cool resources and content. I thought so. There's definitely a better way to have a resolution, but you're not gonna find that amongst a bunch of these lunatics sometimes.
Yeah, and now that you're in Luminosity, of course, now that Luminosity is like in the train, do you think Luminosity? Well, will Luminosity begin to do the same thing that Panda did, or are they gonna be a bit laid back? Of course, this is like a big question to ask you because at the same time, obviously you're not corporate, but has that conversation ever happened? The Luminosity wants to take the reign of what Panda did.
Nah, I think the like some people think Luminosity is like they're plotting some like the Lumi circuit or something like that, kind of pick up the pieces in that regard. Nah, that's not gonna happen. I can tell you that straight up. You know what I mean? The most that they've done is attach themselves to a couple of already established events. They bought out EMG, so they're attached to GOML. They're attached to Let's Make Moves Miami.
Right.
There's going to be like a Let's Make Moves like GOML something that's coming up as well. So a lot of cool things are coming out of that, but there's not going to be any kind of like circuit. As far as content, I mean that's just like, to be honest, the content thing is just an open door for that, so they're taking advantage of it.
All right. My friend Moncho tells me if an idea to make like a let's make moves to Puerto Rico. I mean, Puerto Rico's a big place to do it. Tropical, cheap. I think to even go here. Do you think that that could be like an idea to tell Max?
I think that would be okay. I mean, I think really it just depends. Like they probably want to test it out and see if if the expansion on this additional event in Canada
Mm.
works out, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like whatever they're trying to do, the additional tournament in Canada besides just GOML. So I mean, I would toss my hat. I heard rumblings that at one point they were trying to do a Let's Make Moves, or Max was trying to do something like in Mexico. You know what I mean? I think this was pre-pandemic or whatever, but I would love to see that get picked back up. You know what I mean? Let's take this to other countries and regions. Especially if the scene is there too, right? Like I would travel to Puerto Rico. Why the hell? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Why
no.
the hell not?
Yeah,
I go anywhere. I don't care.
it's like an amazing way to expand the region. I think this is me, obviously. I think some things have been like staying on United States, and then we have Mexico, then we have Colombia, the Dominican Republic, that they have Blink Respawn, and their own tournaments don't drown in pools. There's other regions that are like amazing, just to fly around and to watch and see like how the region are. As you
Yeah.
said, you loved Mexico, so it would be amazing, to come down to Mexico and do like one of the tournaments. A bit of expansion, I'm guessing. And damn it, Lol.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
No, go ahead. My bad.
No, I was gonna say no. That kind of that's what I want. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and granted, it might take wait until like a new game inevitably gets announced, but nonetheless, like if it can happen, I'm all for it.
That's right. That's right. Damn it. I was gonna ask what Lolly had just asked you, but hey, you're a Sheiks guy. I respect it. Mad
Come
respect.
on, man. I got no problem answering. I got no problem telling the truth.
uh, man, we all know you're a Smash commentator. However, have you ever
Yep.
like gone out of your comfort zone and tried another game to commentate?
Yeah, I did. Like in 20, I think it was a 2017, 2018. I did 2 years of hosting for the NBA 2K League.
Oh, right,
which
right.
was yeah, that was a lot of fun because I'm like I love basketball and it's it's 2K, but it was still kind of like a bridge into that world. So that was a lot of fun back then. More recently, I've been working with the NFL for their game night, their Tuesday night gaming night, where the players and the athletes get together and play some games in a kind of competitive fashion, which has also been a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of cool players. I got to hang out in Vegas on Super Bowl weekend with that as well. So I'm trying to take it to the level where I will inevitably end up in some, at least on the radar of some people in like the sports world,
Yeah.
whether it be for any kind of hosting or interviewing type stuff, like any kind of content I would take up on that because I love sports, my guy.
Have you ever tried first-person shooters, or you're like apart from Fortnite, right? Well, like Rainbow or COD.
Uh, no, I think the closest thing I got was like PUBG when you played like you could play first person in that.
Damn. Okay.
Because
Okay.
PUBG is what got me into battle royales to begin with. And PUBG, I mean, I used to no life the hell out of that game, bro. I'm talking about 7, 8 hours. I would just play that straight a day.
Yeah.
It was something sick. It
I,
was something sick.
I remember the hype it had like back in 20 I think 16, 17 when the game came out. It was actually pretty fucking good. I loved the game. But Bucket Lover asked me a question. Have you ever tried a speed running game?
Speed run? Oh hell, dude, I'm terrible at that stuff. I'll tell you straight up. The closest thing I'm getting is maybe Fall Guys, bro. Because you got no choice but to move your ass in that game. But speed running, no sir, that is not an EE special. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah, I don't have the mental for that. Too damn hard. Too many glitches. I cannot comprehend. But hey, Elman has another question. What makes a Smash goat?
A Smash Goat. I mean, what makes a Smash Goat is being recognized outside of just your accomplishments in Smash. You know what I mean? Like you have an impact just on the gaming realm itself. You know what I mean? That's something I thought Leo encompassed because when he won that last Genesis, the Genesis last year,
Yeah,
that's it was at 4 or 5 Genesis rings. People were talking about, yo, like we got to start talking about him in the same conversation as people like Faker. You know what I mean?
true.
Like he is that gifted in the gaming world. It's not just he's bigger than Smash to an extent. You know what I mean? And I still think that does reign true. And plus, I mean, you're able to show up in clutch moments and really just somebody who the fans can kind of get behind. And that's something that Leo to me embodied. Like that's why I firmly put him in the GOAT conversation.
True.
And at the highest order when it comes to it. If you're talking about somebody like on the mic, somebody electrifies the crowd, gets you entertaining, a good rapport with everybody, and
Yeah.
you're just generally excited to hear them on the mic. It's not like a dreading thing, like, oh, this guy again.
Uh, oof. All right, this is a big one because I remember when Hungry Book started to talk about it. What do you think about the Smash rule set in general? I remember a problem that Hungry Box had is that everybody has a problem of going to Pokemon Stadium 2. Man, give me your thoughts about it because I'm not gonna lie, I hate PS2. Too damn used. I think the tournament wise, people need to be a little bit more careful when they select that stage.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, look, like matchups help a lot in a lot of circumstances, but yeah, that was definitely PS2 is definitely overused. I mean, me
Yeah.
personally, I'm all about like whatever your neutrals are, your neutrals. I think we need to open it up with more interesting counter picks, bro. I've said forever, give me WarioWare. You know what I'm saying? Give me Yoshi's Island with the slants. You know what I'm saying? Somebody consider bringing back Dreamland. I don't care, bro. I want different aesthetics and different stages. I'm one of them radical dudes too, bro. I'll be like, you know what? Give me Frigate Orpheum. You know what I'm saying? Let that stage flip upside. You think Steve is gonna keep his blocks when that stage flips? No, they're going. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Give me something interesting to work with, and I'm happy.
True. True.
We are too conservative with these stages sometimes. It's been 5 years in this damn game. Somebody have the balls to open it up a little bit.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. Like PS2 is not a bad stage. I love PS2. I'm a Snake main. I love to use it. However, there's other stages. There's other ways to change your play style. It's something that I think competitive players have still not reached. Sometimes I think they're just desperate to play another game, and they're like, nah, let's go PS2. That's pretty much it. But yeah, that's just mental then. Uh, I got you a question that Lalia said. like what's next on your show of Lights Out. But before you answer that, I wanted to know about the idea that you had on creating an episode for Lights Out that is translated in Japanese. Like, what went through your mind that, oh, I gotta do this? Or have like Japanese viewers were like, hey man, we gotta hear you, but in Japanese.
Yeah, I can't be as big a fan of the Japanese community. I watch so many tournaments. I'm a fan of some of the players. Without wanting them to be able to check out my content every now and then. You know what I mean? For me, it's like obviously it's expensive to do that, right? You know what I mean? Like it's expensive. But on the same token, I'm still trying to do it every now and then when I'm able to. You know?
All right, hold on.
Oh shit! Did my mic fuck up?
Yeah, for some reason on stream, no. Okay, so for some reason it's not hearing well on my side on stream.
You want me to disconnect and reconnect?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me do that.
Damn. Well, he left now, but he'll be back. Give him a minute. Oh, it's because he left. So give him like, okay, he's back. Y'all hear it good?
Sounding.
Let me know in chat. Don't be scared. These things happen. Damn. I know.
This is no big deal.
Yeah.
We good?
Nah. We good. I think people are saying we're good. Let me see. Okay, they can hear you now. Oof.
Okay.
All right, good,
Awesome.
good.
Yeah. So on the topic of why I've kind of put some effort into doing Japanese subtitles for some of my videos. I mean, it came down to again, I'm a huge fan of Japan tournaments. I root for a lot of their players, and I want them to be able to understand the podcast because I think it's an important piece in Smash, even when it's in another language. So obviously, I'm not gonna lie, it costs like a lot of money to, at least I think it's a lot of money to translate certain sections of the podcast. So I can't do it every time, but I'm aiming to get one out at least a month. Like for March, I'm planning on having one for our 50th anniversary or 50th, episode of the podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I can utilize like AI in any kind of way, I'll try and do it that way too. But for now, I do the best I can, and I just hope people appreciate it. You know what I mean?
No, that's good. And like, actually, for your 50 episode anniversary, what do you have in store, or you rather keep it a secret for now?
I'm gonna keep it a secret for now, but I do like our biggest guest ever is planned for episode 50. I'll say that much.
That's good. That's good. All right, something I wanted to ask you, which for me is very important because I think some commentators, that's on me because I'm a commentator as well, and I wanted to know if I was like in the same idea, but I feel like some commentators that are right now on the mic don't know how strong and powerful the word is. Do you think like commentators when they speak and try to have like what do you call it, a critique of a certain thing? Do you think people hear them out, or do they just ignore, like the commentators doesn't have that power to do that?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I think it's two things, right? It's who you are, right? Well, it's three things. It's who you are, it's who you're saying it or what you're saying it about, and it's how you say it. You know what I mean? Like you got to present it in the right way. You got to come off, as be as humble as possible, I guess. I think a lot of people just, they take criticisms or critiques to heart sometimes if it's not presented the right way. So I would say just, if you need to tiptoe about it with certain people, just do it that way. But for the most part, I think it should be fine. I mean, if you're an adult, I don't see why this is a problem. We're all playing the same game and trying to improve the experience in one way or another.
True. I agree with you there. That's a subject that I've been hearing too much because I think some commentators are a bit rough on the patch when they critique a player or a character. And sometimes the viewer just attack the player instead of the character. I'm like, hey man, tone it down. It's because of the character, not just the player, But
like if people give Sonics a hard time, I get it. But I mean, if I was as good as him, I'd utilize that character and do the same damn thing.
True.
He's making bank. I
True.
don't care what y'all thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to get paid out here.
Bro, I've been hearing people that say like, "Oh, he camps too much." God damn, he's gonna camp that much if he's gonna take like $5,000 in a tournament. Of course,
Yeah,
I'll camp the fuck out of my life, bro. My bad. I've been sick for a while, but my throat is kind of effed up right now. But
you're good, brother.
I got some questions. Blender says, on a game with no updates, what's next? Ride this game till it dies?
Oof.
It's hard. It's hard because
Yeah, that's a tough one to answer. I mean, you know what it is? I think right now, this is why I think it's okay to be a little more experimental with stuff. Like, this is why I understand more like people are, doing, Steve Band to, trying to really, Steve's not at the problem when Cole's not around, but that's a whole nother subject. But I see why people are doing like Steve Band to try and like, uh, you know, breathe some life into the game at times when, people feel like it's needed. I understand
mm,
why people are trying to maybe consider experimental rule sets. Like I understand why there's just a need for change to an extent.
yeah,
But I do think we are inevitably going to get a new game within the next year, or at least an announcement, and I think that'll just keep the hype alive enough to keep it all going. That's the way I look at it.
you heard it. You heard him. E talking facts. I think the same as you. Like we just gotta roll it. There's gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
some things. Hungrybox was talking about that on Coinbox. Like, oh, then like to keep his viewers alive a bit, he wanted to ban Sonic, but that's like a far stretch. I feel. I do feel the banning Steve is another stretch when Akola's not around because he's the only good consistent Steve
He's
around.
the only consistent.
Yeah,
I mean, like me is there, obviously, but as a secondary,
true.
and his Steve is not as good as a Cola's.
Exactly. Like me is like way down next to a cola. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I don't know. I think the whole banning stuff is just a shenanigan, just to cry baby or whatever. But whatever. I don't give a damn.
I get it. After 5 years, like I get it. Like I don't want to make a mistake and like make people's attention and love for the game like completely disappear. So if we have to make some concessions, at this point, I'm willing to do it. I wasn't before, but at this point, I'm willing to do it. I want the game to thrive and people to still have income
Yeah.
via
Yeah.
the game.
Lolly had asked me, have you ever thought about adding a fourth permanent member to the podcast? I think he doesn't like odd numbers. What do you think about an even number on Lights Out?
You know what? It's interesting because we'll have guests on, and sometimes we'll comments like, "Oh, this person should be, make them permanent." And I don't think people realize like the dynamic of me, Light, and Cosmos is like we're all really like legitimately good friends. Like we are tight. You know what I mean? Like those are my guys. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like if I bring somebody in, like if I'm cool with them and Light's cool with them, if Cosmos isn't cool with them, it's not the same dynamic. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find that additional person. Like the person off the top of my head I could think closest to that is already employed by Tweet Talks. His name is Charles. You know what I mean? Like so it's kind of hard to find that particular person. But you never know, maybe one day. But for now, I think just manage like it's enough managing Cosmos and Light in the podcast. I don't really want an additional person on right now. But as the podcast grows, maybe the team will grow. You never know.
He says Cola will be a nice permanent choice, but he understands where you're trying to go, which I understand as well. Because when you have like a group of friends and you want to create something already, you're
Yeah.
tight with them. That's pretty much it. Adding like in quotation a stranger is quite hard to do.
It's another piece that's hard to implement, and plus it makes it a little bit more funky when we have a guest because then it's the 5 box we need. It's just like I don't know. I think we're good right now. I think Lights Out is in a good spot right now.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. Uh, Epic Smasher says, do you consider? Ooh, this is a strong one. Do you consider Hungry Walks as a competition, content wise?
Uh, hmm. I wouldn't say I consider HBox competition because I don't think there's too many there's too much competition for HBox in the space right now. I mean, he's atop the ladder on both YouTube and Twitch when it comes to Smash content. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
yeah, like I can't consider him competition because he probably wouldn't consider me competition. That's not how that works.
True, true.
Like he's in the driver's seat. So I think a lot of us are just trying to play catch up. You know what I mean? I think he's done a great job with how he does his content with his tournaments, and not to mention still being godlike player at Melee. So I would say more than competition. I'd say it's just kind of like in a sense, it's like it's he's like a benchmark to try and catch up with. You
True.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what I would say.
yeah, he's too damn high up there. Like he's one of the best streamers.
Yeah, he's
That we
terrific.
yeah, he's amazing. Uh, I want to ask you a couple more questions, and a
Go
question
for it.
that I talked to one of my friends, which I'm from Puerto Rico, so we here in Puerto Rico we're a small community, and man, you've been in Smash for so long, and you've seen other communities grow by the
Yeah.
time. Um, can you give us like some tips on how we can create like for a small community on how we can move and get out there and have our name out there?
You know what the biggest thing is? It's all about getting eyes on the scene, right?
Hmm.
And it's not necessarily the easiest thing. It's not necessarily the cheapest thing, but if you're able to kind of like come up with a tournament that's worth like a top 10 players time, and you're able to kind of like pull the funds together just to get them out there. A lot of times those players are cool with just coming out there. Like you don't have to give them like appearance fee or whatever. They're cool. They got like a free trip, and they can they can win some money from the tournament. But on your side, you're like, okay, well, we want you to do some content with us and push some things on your social media. Like get something out of these guys. You know what I mean? Like that's the biggest mistake I see events make is they'll invite players. Like they'll pay money for a flight, hotel, set them up to win some money, and they don't take advantage of their social presence. Like, there's no way I'm going to anywhere and somebody's like, "Hey, can you make a couple tweets for us?" Yes, happily, no problem. People don't take advantage of that enough. So that's the first way I would say, like, to just kind of get some eyes on the prize.
True.
Because I mean, that you got to start. I might not have the perfect answer, but that's where I would start.
Let me put that. Uh, Let me put that on my notebook because I've been saying that for a long time. We should create
Yeah,
like a big tournament. Well, that's gonna be like an investment, but hey, it's gonna be an investment
it
real
is.
worth. Uh,
It
hey,
is.
hey guys, if you have any more questions, put them on chat because I'm gonna start closing. And hey, man, before I start closing, I gotta say it was amazing having you here. Uh, when I started commentating, I had you and TK Breezy as like my role models on being big as a commentator, and I was actually so thankful to commentate with you and Delfino Maza. It was
Oh, it was fun, snacks.
it
We
was
we
fun.
killed it.
Yeah, and hey man, oh, Master Wings has a really good question. Will you
Oh
ever
shit.
shave your beard?
Shave my beard. That
That's a hard no, right?
is that. You know what? It's hmm. It's not impossible. I would say like it would have to be. It would have to be for like a really good like charity. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
Like I can get behind charity work. So if it was something in regards to charity, no, it's not even about so like if I was raising like enough money for like kids or something like that, yeah, I could see myself doing that.
Okay. Okay, that's actually a pretty nice way to do it. Uh
Yeah, something like St. Jude's or something, something meaningful like that I could do.
damn. Uh I actually that's actually pretty nice to hear. I did not expect that answer, not gonna lie. So a charity will be
I mean, we're gonna
amazing.
have to raise some money. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah, yeah.
$100 ain't gonna cut it. We're gonna have
Nah,
to raise some money.
Moncho said 50K. 50K sounds reasonable.
50K, that's more than reasonable. Yeah, you can take every. I'll take my balls off too with it. You know what I'm saying? A little trim down there. I got you, man. I got you.
uh,
Let's do it.
Last question. That this is a good one as well. Would you ever come down to commentate or just pass the time here in Puerto Rico?
Say that again.
Would you ever come here to Puerto Rico for a tournament or just to pass the time?
Yeah, I would come to Puerto Rico in a heartbeat. Like that's the thing about going to some tournaments like that. Like tournaments that I know are like, they're smaller, they're just trying to make it. For me it's like, dude, just help me out with flight, give me some housing, and you don't even gotta pay me, bro. Let's just have a good time and I'm down. Like every event, like you'll be surprised to know, because I don't feel a need to advertise this, but like when I negotiate, like I don't care about getting paid like a whole lot of money to do shit,
Hmm.
especially if it's like someplace I've never been. You know what I mean? I'll go there. I'll help out as best I can, and whatever's affordable in budget, we'll go with that. You
And
know.
Uh,
That's it.
the,
And Puerto Rico sounds lit. I've never been.
another way we can pay you that they're already putting it in chat. We can bring some Latinas, so you can meet.
You're a mess.
I could help you out. I know some friends. They're
You
available.
point me in the right direction. I'll take it from there, man.
But hey, man,
I'll take it from there.
hey, man. Once again, I appreciate for you being here. You're a great guest. Hopefully, I'll beat you again soon for commenting or used to pass the time. But hey, thank you for being here. Anything you want to say to the public before we close out?
Yeah, I would say, hey, guys, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you show Snacks some love, drop a follow to him. And to you, Snacks, I would say be consistent with this. You said this was your first one of the year. Well, make sure it doesn't take you, another 2 months to get to another one. Stay consistent. This is another good way to help generate some eyes on your Puerto Rican scene. And be aggressive if you go to tournaments too, man. Get these top players like, hey, I'd love to have you come on this. You'll actually find it a lot easier to get some people to come on when they don't have to turn on a webcam because these motherfuckers are just that lazy. But yeah, that's what I would say. And I wish you the best of luck. And this was a fun experience, man. I definitely vouch for anybody who wants to come on here.
Thank you. Then good night, guys. Have a great night. Sleep well, and good night.